Zambia Blog Talk Radio.
Do you want to promote your business on Zambia Broad Talk Radio? Yes, that's right. Live on Zambia Broad Talk Radio. To book your spot, just make a donation by picking from the following categories. To get started, just call or WhatsApp the number on the screen and you'll be good to go. Live on Zambia Broad Talk Radio every Saturday for 1 full month. And it will stay on the recorded shows.
Hello. Welcome to Zambia Blog Talk Radio. It is Saturday, April the 16th. Happy Easter, whichever part of the world that you are. Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening. We do thank you for joining us. We have a great show for you today. And this is a much anticipated discussion that we are looking forward to. All right, let me introduce my guests here. Mr. Mashonga from Lusaka. Hi, Kasuluba.
Hi, Uncle Nathan. How are you doing?
How was the weekend? How was the Easter weekend? Kasuluba, I've noticed one thing during the show. Your friends call you Mashonga. What's up with that? Is that how you are not?
Yes, they find Mashonga easier than Kasulua.
Okay, just like we were biting our tongues as well in the beginning of this show. Okay, my dear friend in Canada, good morning. How is Canada?
Canada is well, but we are back in the winter season. Not sure what is going on over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's snowing again?
Snowing again. Our friends in Manitoba had 50 inches of snow last week, and they are still expecting some more.
That's quite a bit. That's quite
a bit.
Yeah,
in what is this? This is April, right? We're supposed to be talking about spring. Nice and sunny. But Canada being Canada, today is -6 as we speak right now.
That's interesting. Eh? Okay, as we are getting ready for our discussion here, Kasulova, I noticed that our guest is trying to log in. Can you please help him in the background? I think Mr. Lewanika is trying to,
Yeah, I've seen
him. So we're going to let you work with the Honorable Lewanika behind the scenes, okay?
No problem.
All right, just work with him, and then we shall have you come back on the show. Okay, Roger, big announcement here. Everybody knows Zambia Blog Talk Radio. Over the years, we've developed relationships, collaborating partners. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yes.
Yeah, my Muflira English at times.
We always blame Muflira for everything.
Yeah, I know. Always trying to blame somebody. I mean, Adam also blamed the woman. She was the only one there. So it's like, this woman you gave me. So our friends, let me share this. Our friends at My Zambia, My Responsibility are hosting that event, Young Men's Mentorship Day. It will be April 27th, I believe, Roger. And there it is, Young Men's Mentorship Program. It will be on April 27th. It is, what they are asking for is they've asked Zambia Blog Talk Radio to help sponsor some young men to attend this event, okay? It's only 300 kwacha per person, which when Kasulova and I did the mathematics, it came to about $18 per person. So I thought that as Zambia Blog Talk Radio, we could participate and sort of help our friends at My Zambia, My Responsibility by asking 20 of our listeners to help support a young person to attend this, this seminar. So as the show is going on, you can see the number scrolling at the bottom there. Young Men's Sponsorship, Cash App, our friend from the Insaka talk show, Nelly Bartholomew, will be collecting on our behalf. Okay. And it's the Zelle now for Zelle and Cash App, Roger. Excuse me. It's the same number. It's scrolling down there. So we want every Zambia Blog Talk Radio person. If you're everybody, just $20. I've already sent mine. We need 20 people. What do you call it? Nelly herself has already put a $20 there. So we need 18 more people to just help us contribute $20, and we shall be good to go, and we shall send it to our friends at My Zambia, My Responsibility. Okay, now there's confusion here. Oh,
so what the Cash App and Zelle number assumes is that everyone lives in America.
Yes, I know. Okay, then we have, okay, now how do I'm trying to hide this. All right. Yeah. Okay, for our friends outside the United States, this is what I have done. Okay, you can mobile money. Okay, that's the mobile money. You can send it directly to Zambia, because I know it's going to be tedious for Uncle Gregory, Mr. Wimbe in the UK, Dandy to send the money to us. Then we send it to Zambia. So just send it directly to what do you call it?
Not only tedious, but costly, because there are fees involved.
Yeah, there are fees involved. Yeah. So Tandy, just send your contribution to that mobile
Mr. Tandy, where are you? Send your contribution.
So all you do is in the memo put ZBTR, so that our friends at My Zambia, My Responsibility will know that this contribution is coming via ZBTR or through ZBTR. Okay, we just need 20 people. So 20 people. We need 18. I've already done mine. Nelly has also done hers. Those of you outside Zambia, Australia, UK, Canada, I know it. Don't send it to us. Just send it straight to Zambia. Just indicate in the memo and just say ZBTR, so that they know that this is coming from what do you call it? From our colleagues at Zambia Blog Talk Radio. Okay. I hope Kasulu. Let's check in with Kasulu. Hi, Mr. K. How are things going?
Hi, Uncle Nathan. We're still facing technical challenges here and there.
Okay. Yeah. We whenever you are ready, just send a message in the private chat. Okay.
No.
All right. Let's welcome a prodigal daughter here who's trying to.
Miss Lucas.
She's laughing. She knows she's a prodigal daughter.
The prodigal daughter has returned.
I know.
How would we say it in Zambia when you go and visit at Nachla Pitila Coffee? Natimi Poko. And then you find the person stays for lunch and dinner at Nachla Pitila Coffee.
Oh my God.
2 weeks
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening to everyone who's listening, and good morning to both of you.
Good morning. It's been
a while. Good morning, Ms. Lucas.
Good morning.
So I'm using my mobile phone as to join in. So I'm confused on where to look. So Monica forgive me, because I'm trying to see where's the camera.
Look where your hand is when you did this. That side. Yes, look that side. No.
But I'm excited about the program that we have today. So
okay, just center yourself. Try to center yourself.
Okay, let me log out and then come back in.
No problem.
Okay, thanks.
Not a problem, Ms. Lucas. We'll be looking forward to having you. So, Roger, I think I need to amend this and do something to it so that people understand why this number is there. Let's see. Okay, fine. it doesn't matter. Let's just leave it there. We've already said that. Those of you in the United States, that number scrolling at the bottom is for you to contribute $20 so that we're able to sponsor a youth. Lifestyle and campaign audits. Roger, when let's do this. Kasuluba is, are you working with the gentleman or we need to bring you back? What shall we do, Mr. K here? Because I need you here. I'm going to use some accounting technical terms. You're an accountant, I'm not.
Okay. Let me, maybe just a bit, maybe 2 minutes. We see how it goes, then I'll come back.
Then you'll come back. Okay, fine. The point I wanted to make, Roger, is that there are two words here: lifestyle and audit. So the question I want our guests to address is, when we say this comes from a presentation that Mr. Musa Mwenya, who, by the way, everybody, this discussion is coming from a lot of things. Mr. Musa Mwenya was making a presentation, who has been appointed as, is it a chairperson or commissioner?
Yeah, chairperson for an ACC.
ACC, Anti-Corruption Commission. Mr. Musa Mwenya, who is a lawyer, served as Attorney General
and Solicitor General.
And Solicitor General. I think he held both offices. He was appointed by President Sata as Attorney General, and is very strong on corruption and his principles and all those things. So it is what he said in the video clip that we thought that we could get our guests to sort of address this issue. So what I'm trying to say, Roger, here is that there are two words in this: lifestyle and audit. So lifestyle is, how do we define lifestyle? The way somebody lives.
If you own a iPhone 12, which costs about 15,000.
iPhone 12.
Yeah, I don't know if it's 15,000 kwacha or 20,000 kwacha. And you have no related income to support that iPhone. People want to know.
Yeah,
that's
people want
a lifestyle.
That's a lifestyle. If you, like he says in the video clip presentation, we will play the video when if our guests are going to join us, so that our listeners, viewers are able to hear what we are talking about. So basically, you need to account for how you have acquired whatever you own, right? And
correct.
This is particularly relating to our public officials,
correct.
Those that serve in government, because one of the things that people need to understand is that immediately you enter public life, like they say, there's no more privacy. I mean, you are working for the people. You went through an electoral process, you were elected, you indicate that you want to serve. This is government, wherever you are, Europe, America, Canada, Africa, in this case, Zambia in particular. You have to account for what you have. And those are some of the things that we are going to endeavor to discuss and to look at here, okay? Hello, Bakasumu, thank you for joining us. My number one cheerleader, Vana Chanda, Sister Brenda. Everybody watching, please, you see that number scrolling down there, especially those of you in the United States. We are trying to sponsor 20 youths to attend a mentorship program. All we need is 20 people to give $20. That's not much, okay? Actually, we need 18 because Nelly and myself have already done our $20. So I encourage everybody. If you do that, you can send me a screenshot or a text message. Just let me know that you have done the contribution so that we can give a shout out to everybody here. So that's what is going on. So Kasuluba, you are an accountant.
Yes,
when we say audit, what are we talking about as it relates to this situation?
So when we're talking about audits, we're looking at checks and balances. So we're comparing what's on the ground based on how things are done or how things are run. So then in a company, for example, if we're looking at the controls that are in place to see whether the way that things are set is how they are done. Are the monies spent according to what they're supposed to be spent on? So basically, then that's what audit. That's what you're trying to check or assess. Yeah. Then now, when we bring it to lifestyle audit, then there's just one actually scholar here that says a lifestyle audit is a comparative exercise in which a person's legitimate income is measured against their lifestyle. So this is in line.
I like that. A person's legitimate income
is measured against their lifestyle.
So called one illegitimate income, right?
Yes. So like what Uncle Roger says, so meaning that this audit is trying to assess whether is your lifestyle in line with what you're legitimately earning. So if you are spending more than the income that's been declared, where is the extra money coming from? So this is what the audit is tries to assess.
No, excellent.
Yeah.
Mr.
So in
Chipenzi, welcome. Mr. Chipenzi, good afternoon. Okay. Oh, that's a good what do you call it? That's a good breakdown there, Kasuluba. Do you remember? You may not remember this, Kasuluba, but Roger here and everybody watching. You remember, Roger, in Dr. Kaunda's time, they had what were they calling it? Leadership code, something like that.
Yeah.
And even I remember when I went to, I bought a car at an auction. As State Insurance, my former employers were auctioning off old cars. Okay, they were auctioning for old car. You know how the parastatals used to do it. They basically sell it to you at a giveaway price. What were they saying? Book value? Was that
book
the terminology?
Value, correct. Yeah.
Yeah, they used to call it book value. So I bought a the Land Cruiser at a Zambia State Insurance auction, my former employer. I'm mentioning this to make this point. When I went to, remember we had to go and do, I think it's tax clearance. I don't know whether you still do this, Kasulova, in Zambia. You had to go to ZRA, before you went to the road traffic to get a blue book, you had to go to ZRA to get some clearance of some sort.
Okay.
So when you went there, you had to show proof how you were able to afford this thing. So yes. I told them, I said, I bought this at an auction. It was a giveaway price, blah, 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 blah. Man, yes. This ZRA, whatever tax person, gave me a difficult time. Yeah. I said, Iwe, can you see these receipts? I bought this thing at an auction. This is nothing from my pay slip or whatever. So I'm making that point just to make us understand what we're trying to discuss or talk about here, the lifestyle audit and all these kind of things. So it used to be like that.
Actually, Uncle Nathan, yeah, that's a great example you've given, because that whole scenario you brought out is actually an audit in itself. Because what that ZRA personnel was trying to do was they were trying to assess to say, okay, so market value, this vehicle could go for so much. Yes. So then prove to us that you've been able to afford this. So now those documentations as well, you are able to pull out a receipt to show evidence to say, hey, there's this, I bought this and that, and it was also an auction. So now in a case where you were unable to defend that purchase and you did not have the valid documentations, then now a problem would have come in.
Okay, yeah. Oh, but Brenda is just confirming that they still do it. She had to go through that in 2016, which is like, what, 6 years ago? So I guess the practice is still there. So basically what they are trying to do is to do what? Just to ensure that...
Now it's meaningless. Now it's meaningless to say the list. Is either the agent is trying that you oil them so that they can do what they're supposed to do. Sorry to say.
No. That's the reason we are talking about this, Roger. Yeah. That's the situation.
Yeah. Back in the day, as you said, yes, corruption. There was a corruption, but to some extent, when they wanted that, it was wanted for a legitimate reason, and they were reported. They were reported to the authorities. Nowadays, when you see an individual buy a house, $450,000 cash, a house. Right. We are not talking about a vehicle or bread here or what. A house, 450. And later on, they take that cash to the bank, and the bank accepts that money. How is that possible?
The bank is actually supposed to sort of question that type of transaction, right?
Yes.
But they do not do it.
I've received money here from Zambia back in the day when I was doing some business with the mines. $10,000. They will not post it. They had to call me. How much money are you expecting? This much money. Why? What did you do for you to earn this much money?
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. 2 days just to clear 10,000 kwacha. By law, it is there. And I think even the Zambian laws, a certain amount, I think I know $1,000 in Zambia, a Bank of Zambia. It's supposed to be declared.
Yeah.
It's supposed to. So how do people go to the bank and deposit 450,000 like I saw the house? The person who gave you this money, where did they get this money from?
It's true. It's true. Those of who are joining us, we are, as the program is going on, we are also trying to help our collaborating partners. My Zambia, My Responsibility, they're having a young men's mentorship seminar on April 27th. What you see on the screen there, Young Men's Mentorship Sponsorship. Those of you in the United States, you can send it to Nelly by Cash App or Zelle. Same number there, $20. Just 20. We just need 20 people to give $20, okay? Auntie Clotilda and everybody watching us. Let's see. Hello there. Mr. K, I'm going to send you back in the background. Help Mr. Chipenzi to sort out his technical issues.
Yes, please do.
Just call him and see what is going on there.
Can't he answer right now?
Yeah, he answered. Hello there. Mr. Chipenzi, if you're hearing us, the young man is going to help you to log in, and a few other people. For those of you that may not be in the United States, you can send your contribution directly to that number, mobile money, MTN. That's the number. Those in Canada, the UK, and everybody watching. But America, that's the information for you there. Let's do this. $20, just $20. Everybody just help us with $20. And so, Roger, then our second part of this, so we've understood what lifestyle audit is, right? We've given the Zambian example. I'm sure all of us in Zambia, if you've tried to buy a car or do something of that kind and stuff like that, because what happens is that even here there is, remember, na by ATM for limit here. Okay? You can't withdraw more than $1,000.
No.
And you can't withdraw more than $1,000 in a day. Okay.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Yeah. You can't withdraw more than $1,000 in a day by ATM. All those things are meant to create this system of checks and balances. And we all know after 9/11 that it even became stricter than it was before. They check and all that. I've gone through some of these situations where I've done some some transactions, but not like Roger, my friend, the big businessman who deals in huge sums of money. Totally back wire once in a while to Tomako $1,000 here and there. But they still ask, the bank still wants to know, the bank still wants to know where the money is coming from. So that's on campaign things. Everybody, let's see. Yeah, Mr. Chipenzi, you try to turn on your video and let's see if we can make this happen. And then we can move from there and see if we can have this discussion. As far as Mr. Lewanika's thing, it's just not working, people. Sorry. We tried to sort of, Kasuluba is trying to help both of them behind the scenes to get connected. That's where my sister Clotilda, you need to help your Zambian people here to buy more recent equipment so that they are able to do these things. Okay, so those of you that are following us, what do you think about these lifestyle campaigns, audits rather? What has been your experience? And I know Brenda's shared the similar experience I had with ZRA when I bought that Dinosaur Land Cruiser from Zambia State Insurance at an auction. They still wanted me to explain, Roger, where I got the money. Even if it didn't cost that much, they were just harassing me and
because it was a car.
Yeah, because it was a car. Whatever you did, Mr. Chipenzi, worked. You need to try to do that again. So that's what we are talking about here. We shall also address the issue of campaigns. Zambia, which monitor campaign funds. Do we have a law like that? Anybody know? Because you see, my concern is you might end up with a situation where you have a mafia or a criminal organization finance a candidate's campaign, and then that person has to pay back.
Well, so to say, PF by mafia. We had one.
We had one.
Yeah. So, but depends if your the video slows down your connectivity, we can have you just the audio. That will be fine.
Mm-hmm.
So you can take off. I've seen it is. Hello, but depends. You can take off your video. That way we can have a nice stream.
Is he able to see? Okay.
Yeah. No, he should take off his video. Just his audio will be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But cousin needs to update his phone. He needs to what is the phone which works better? Mr. Mashong. 5G? 4G? 4G works better.
Yes, 4G.
Yeah. So when you have Cousin Chipenzi come with his 2G phone here, he has all these problems.
No, the executive director is not supposed to have a 2G phone.
No.
Uncle Gregory, long time, welcome.
Oh, yeah, I'm crying.
Yes, you see, Roger, I wanted Uncle Gregory to be here because I think he couldn't care. This thing of lifestyle audit and the what do you call it? It's very strong, right?
Yeah, I think let's try once again. Batchpenzi, can you hear us? Hello, Batchpenzi. Okay. We are not sure. Batchpenzi, if you are hearing us, keep making some noises. You finally come through. But don't worry about your video. We'll be okay without video. We just need your audio.
We just need your audio.
Yeah. So if you can hear us, give us a shout. In the chat room, give us a shout, and then we'll allow you to come in.
Yes, excellent.
I'm hearing you loud and clear. Okay. Good morning. How are you, Batchpenzi? Talk
You
to
can
us.
hear him, Roger. I can't hear him.
No,
Okay.
he sent a message there. He sent a message.
Okay,
He can
okay.
hear us loud and clear. Yeah. But just turn off your video. I think it's causing all these problems. We just want to hear your voice. Yeah. Now, if you are hearing us, and I'm sure you like, say hello to us once again, or else we have to arrange some other time. Hello, but Spence. Okay, I think it has failed.
Okay. Sorry about that. It looks like it's not working. We shall try to work. Keep working on it, and let's see what happens here. All right, Gregory, let's begin here with you. Maybe at this stage, you know what we do, Roger? It doesn't matter whether our guests are coming or not. Let's do this. There's something I want to. Okay, Gregory, Kasuluva, and everybody watching. Let's watch this video clip and have a discussion about this. Okay, it's 9:31 Central Standard Time in Dallas, Texas. We shall try to do this for maybe 15-20 minutes, and then Roger can give us some. We can switch the discussion to the recent. We had some by-elections, right? About 4 or 5. How many were there?
3.
3.
I'm sure Kasuluva doesn't know that.
He's shaking his head. He's shaking his head. He says.
So how do people in diaspora know when you in Zambia you don't know?
I know, right? Before we go to the video, everybody watching, our counterparts, my Zambia, my responsibility, are having a mentorship, young men's mentorship program, and would like to help sponsor. So we just need about 20 people who can contribute $20. The number is up there, where it says the same number, 817-902-6956. You can also use it for Zelle or Cash App. Would like our American friends. Those of you outside America, there's an MTN number we shall put up there. Okay. Uncle Gregory, Kasuluva, Roger, let's watch this. Even those that are out there, let's listen to this.
Now, another suggestion which is topical and has caused some controversy is I actually think we need lifestyle audits. I was Solicitor General. I worked as Attorney General. Why should I be afraid of being checked if I didn't steal? I should be asked what I have, how I got it, and when I tell you that it's from allowances, I should prove that. If I tell you I have businesses, let me show the businesses, but I should also show what tax I paid. We must all account for the wealth we have. Otherwise, don't go into public service. I have heard some rebuttals about this lifestyle audit issue and saying everyone should then do it. We can't target people. Does everyone handle public money? Those of us who choose to enter these public offices should be open to accountability. When you are in public office, you are not a private person. There is no privacy. If you drive a Range Rover, we want to know where you got the money. Because you are in public office. If you wear a Rolex, we want to know where you got the money. Otherwise, you don't qualify to serve, and you shouldn't serve in those offices. And that would be true no matter which party came into power.
All right. Excellent. Okay, everybody, let's come back. Kasuluva, Uncle Gregory, Roger. I remember how much I wanted a Rolex some time ago.
What was the fascination about Rolex anyway?
I don't know. Well, because, I mean, You remember those of us forever of Makumain. My dad got one on the 20. You remember when you do 20 years service?
Yes.
They gave you a Rolex with your name inscribed at the back.
My dad got an Omega.
Omega. Yeah, they used to give either Omega or Rolex. You remember now, Roger, right?
Yes.
I think in Kabwe they were giving Omegas.
Kabwe division?
Yes, and I think Nchanga division were giving Citizen. Yes, and which other division? There's another watch. They were giving either Omega or Citizen. These were the commonest. Yes, Omega or Citizen. My father passed me on the Omega, but Vaisa Ashima, and he went with it back to Mugodi. Yeah, Ponena Muchilongoma. So there's an Omega watch Muchilongoma in Kabu.
Yeah, Muchilongoma, you can't retrieve it. It's an endless pit. Gregory, Mr. Mwenye, in that video clip says, those of us who serve or who enter public office should be subject to a lifestyle audit. You heard him very clearly. If you buy a Rolex, we need to know how you got that Rolex. If you drive a Range Rover, we need to know how you got that Range Rover. I want you to pick it up from there.
It's I don't know why it's a big issue for those who are going to serve in public office, for them to have what is called a lifestyle audit. Probably before I'll use examples in trying to sort of outline how the United Kingdom goes about the lifestyle audit. So I'll make a reference first to our first government during the time of Kaunda. During the time of President Kaunda, there was a leadership code.
Yes.
Now, within that framework of the leadership code, there was leaders who were serving in government were actually checked on how they actually got remunerated or benefits as and when they were serving in government. So there was nobody was expected to be over and above being rich during the Kaunda government, because they were making reference to the pay that these people were getting, and there was no problem. If probably your memory serves you right, probably the only people we can refer to during the Kaunda's government who sort of went overboard were by Enoch Kabindele, and then there was Humphrey Mulemba. Now Humphrey Mulemba, there is a story, because Humphrey Mulemba, I think there's something that happened, and then eventually he became rich. But we see Humphrey Mulemba even being removed from government because of what was in the background. But I believe there are people who have that information, and they can brief us to exactly what happened. So as far as Zambia is concerned, we have this history. But then when MMD came into office,
sorry to jump in, Roger, everybody. I like that point you make, Gregor. Yeah. When MMD came into office. You see, that's one question I have for Honorable Akashambatwa. What happened when MMD came into power? Or you can continue. I just wanted to throw that in.
Thank you so much. So when MMD came into power, there was I don't want to use this term loosely, but there was this freedom or liberation that came with the multi-party democracy. There was liberalization of a number of things. And we saw all of a sudden people who used to, I'll use this term because it has been used before. People who used to live in servants' quarters all of a sudden started driving posh cars just because they had gone into government. And nobody questioned. But there was this thing which was, but how come now they are driving this? So we can see that during MMD, all of a sudden people became, those who were serving in government became rich overnight. And I think questions were raised, but issues were not addressed. So I can say that from the time of MMD, we are seeing this lifestyle audit not being given that much of an emphasis, because I have nothing against our former president, Frederick Chuluba. He's one person who just went on a shopping spree. I don't know how far true the stories are, but I'm told that he even bid for a chateau somewhere in Europe. He was amongst those who bid for a chateau in Europe. So you are now beginning to question, to say, how can... Okay. Rolex.
Rolex, Chachine. Thank you, Roger, for this. Because at times in Gamulela, so what about the Rolex? Oh my goodness me.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, these are fair prices, because I know somebody who was quoting a Rolex which was about 250,000 pounds worth.
Oh.
Wow. So now, given that history, we see that from MMD 1990, the lifestyle audit wasn't given that much consideration. So it has become a subject that probably was worth discussing, but it was never addressed. So when we see former Attorney General, when he's saying what he is saying, that is supposed to be a statement of fact. That's what it is supposed to be as far as government is concerned. I liked the statement that he used when he was being interviewed on telly, on one of the platforms, I think the television platform. He says, no one can save. I'm not quoting him exactly, but he says, no one who's serving in a government can become a millionaire. So a millionaire, any civil servant is not supposed to become a millionaire, going by the pay that they get. So having said that, in the United Kingdom, lifestyle audits is very strict. Very, very, very strict. Now, I may not go into the nitty-gritties, but I'll just give an example of what recently happened with the current sitting Prime Minister, Boris Johnson. Yeah. He actually was having a renovation being done on one of his apartments. Yes.
A personal apartment or a government apartment?
No, I don't want to be misquoted, but the issue is addressing him as Prime Minister. He actually involved somebody to have done that renovation, but then there was a price which had gone through the roof that everybody started questioning. So Boris Johnson was taken to account to state how much was involved in renovating his apartment. And up to now, as we are saying, probably that issue has not been resolved. Okay. But it's a subject that has even made Boris Johnson become unpopular, because he has gone against the lifestyle audits. So I'll leave it there for now.
Okay. Roger, for you, what stood out from that video clip that former Attorney General Musa Mwenya is addressing?
Oh, there is
you need the whole show, right?
Yeah. I mean, it is a whole show. One, it tells us about the culture in Zambia. I'm not sure if it is just Zambia or Africa or over the world, the culture of corruption, where we have not related the leaders, the amount they get paid, and all of a sudden the riches. That is what Musa Mwenya is telling us. However, it is we the people who are a problem, in my view. When our bosses become MP, even the language, the way we address them, our expectations changes. What Mwanza is saying here, the culture in the UK, my brother, if you become an MP, we are not expecting you to have Rolex all of a sudden. That culture is not acceptable. As a matter of fact, we will celebrate you when Boris Johnson, you are on a bike going to work. We will celebrate that. All of a sudden, you are in a private jet. Our own prime minister here, he went somewhere with a private jet. They wanted to know who paid for it and why.
Yeah.
So that is what Musa Mwenya is saying. All of a sudden, here is your lifestyle. Wale karakukanyama. Sorry to say, I'm not referring to anyone. Wale karakukanyama. And in no time, you have 5 houses. You are one person who is, some people say you failed to even file your own nomination. You can't raise 2,000 kwacha.
For nomination fee.
For nomination fee. 6 months later, in a private setting, now, more than. So those things, as Mr. Mashobwe told us, they have to, let's balance them. Kasulu, in accounting, let them reconcile. Let a paycheck, let a paycheck. We look at your paycheck. We look at apayaka no balance. Akaka amount mufolaka Rolex tetikwanishe no kuja muleja panganda hiyo. Tell us where the difference came from.
Yes.
And the day we feel that hole, we begin to feel those holes.
Yes.
Is the day I think we'll begin to see either, I don't know, sanity in our government. But in my view, the question I had today for Akashambato, Gregory here, the major hole in the Zambian where the audit requires to be taken is in the mines. The mines account for 70% of our economy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was looking through De Beers. De Beers is a diamond company in Botswana. Botswana has an agreement to share the proceeds 50-50. 50% goes to De Beers, 50% goes to the government of Botswana. And we see our own people in Zambia, they are going to work in Botswana as expatriates. Yes. Because Botswana can afford it. It is illegal in Botswana for a child not to sit on the floor.
In school.
In school. In the meantime,
it's illegal,
in Zambia,
right? It's illegal.
Yes, in Zambia, in the meantime, we have companies like Barrick Gold, a Canadian company which owns Rumana mine. 100%. They own 100% of Rumana mine. If someone is going to talk about the audit of a minister, top of the list, Mwanza, Amashongo, should be the mine, in my view. Top of the list should be the mines. Then Sambo, top of the list. The lifestyle audit should be the mines.
Interesting. Mashonga, you watched the video, you saw the video. What stood out for you? And as far as this topic is concerned, what do you have to say?
A very interesting video, I would say. Before I come in, I would like to say something as to what Uncle Roger raised. You know, that's why they say charity begins at home. The same way that it's difficult to conduct a lifestyle audit for a government official, how then will it be easy to go to the mines? So already there's a problem within ourselves. Then now it even becomes more challenging. I think for me that's where I think the problem starts, because we can't audit ourselves as Zambians, as a nation. Then what about our outsiders? When it came to the video, he made mention to say, because these officials need to account for where money is coming from, mirrored against the lifestyle. And then from there, if the lifestyle is above the income, then these individuals need to declare the other extra source of income, because the other issue is what is called tax evasion, which is illegal. So tax evasion is where you have a source of income that you're not declaring. As long as you're not declaring that, it means that you're not paying income tax on that source of income, which is illegal. I would like to read something quickly, which says, if the audit, which is the lifestyle audit in this case, so if the audit reveals a disjunct between person's non-financial affairs compared to their lifestyle and spending patterns, meaning they are living beyond their means, one, then there is a heightened risk that the person is receiving alternative income. So now here the question is this alternative income legal? If it is legal, have you been paying tax on it? Two, this income may be from sources that present a conflict of interest or potentially illicit activities. So those illicit activities could be that maybe there's a cut between some officials and even some of those mines and Koroja. That's why we can't audit our officials. We can't even audit the mines, including fraud. So then it could mean fraudulent activities. It could mean collusion. It could mean embezzlement, bribes, kickbacks, as well as rigging in terms of tenders. So I picked up a number of things from that clip, and
wow. Kasuluba, you raise a lot of issues. Collusion reminds you of somebody, Roger. Collusion.
Yes.
Uncle Trump. Collusion, tax evasion, tender stuff, which is a very big issue as well at that tender, whatever. Mr. Chipenzi, can you say something? I know you say you can hear us. Are you able to say something? Now I can. So, Kasulu, you raised quite a number of issues in your presentation and what you have said, which will require a lot of attention and a lot of, what you call it? I can see workers as logged in here as well, but the system, Seko Fellow, Mr. Lewanika, the system is showing that your device is not connected. So you raise a lot of issues in there, Kasuluba. The question is, this is my biggest question by Gregory Roger. The challenge we have in Zambia, even just the laws that we have on the books, it's, what's the word? Enforcement. It's just enforcement. Like you said, Roger, maybe Uncle Aka was going to help us understand some of the laws we have relating to this subject in the Constitution of Zambia. The question is enforcement. So I'm trying to be careful how I throw this to you, Kasuluba, without jeopardizing your career, the job that you do. The issue of tenders. So to Roger's point by Gregory, there is there could be that aspect of, what you call it, where a government or public official is given a big tender by the mines so that they are able to sort of twist and not present the actual figures, because we have this big question mark, but depends. I know you're not able to, we're not able to hear you. You say you're following the discussion. Ama prophets, are they really as they declare?
Can I chip in there?
Yeah.
There has to be a political will first in the first place.
Yes.
There has to be a political will. I apologize if I'm trying to go back to the UNIP days when Wakaunda was in place. It may not have been the most perfect administration, but there are certain things that they went by, especially in reference to the mines. The mines was looked after like the cash cow, but
Yes.
there was a clear-cut way in which finances were handled during the times of NCCM, RCM, and so on and so forth. You find that the mines in itself, those people who were working in the mines and the finances and the like, they did their due diligence in terms of carrying out their duties accordingly. And you find that there was no collusion, as our young presenter, hosters, basically said, until such a time when the political will was sort of compromised. And why I'm saying so is, if you go back, you'll find that UNIP used ZCCM or NCCM to develop Lusaka because of the copper which was coming there, and they were following those things. And you find that those who were working as senior staff there, they were strictly earning their salaries according to what was stipulated. Very few people were actually having extra incomes. Very few during that time. Now, when the political will becomes compromised, then you find people now are coming from their private entities going into somewhere, and then you get now people who are now trying to become tenderpreneurs, as they would say, because they are now trying to take advantage of their privileged position. Therefore, you find that people all of a sudden started having now companies outside the main mining company. And then they started providing services to the mining company. So when that service is provided, at a time when maybe the paycheck is being raised or delayed, the same person has to go now to the finance department and say, and you find that if it's not paid, then he'll use his position. Maybe they will meet in a particular club. I'm just giving an example. Buy a few beers and talk to somebody who's maybe in the finance department. No, there's a contract that I did. Is it possible you can push that check? And then that person also is given a cut. So we saw this rising when the political will became compromised. Those of us, I think, Pastor Vanethan, let me give you this insight. Situation, people started building houses in Mufulira, senior staff, and they were building houses near the golf club. Now, the cement that they were using, they were getting it from smelter, because smelter used to use cement as part of its component in the process. But then the mining company would buy cement in bulk. Then the people who were interested in building houses, they colluded with certain young men, waste cement. They'll break the pockets of cement and then scatter them just like that. Then they go in with vehicles to say, to send them sweepings. So they will sweep that cement, load it onto, in fact, even company vehicles, and then buy it off at a giveaway price. And then this was happening in Muflera. So people now taking advantage of their position. So there you see the corruptness of the lifestyle audit. So I know of some people, I mean, this is probably not a story to you. There are certain houses in Muflira which had injombolo walls to reinforce, those drill bits. Those are a preview of the mining company. But somebody, because of his position, he goes and gets those as waste. What were they calling it? Scrap metal. Before scrap metal became a hot cake, scrap metal was being used to build. So if you go to Muflira right now, you find certain houses do have drill bits in their walls.
Wow.
So people were abusing their positions. Therefore, the lifestyle audit in itself became nothing to be talked about. I know of certain people who took employees that are working on their farms and they put them on the ZCCM payroll. And the farm is operating. This is a very senior person in the mining company. So we see, like, I think Roger Wachilanda Kukwati, attitude. I know when he made reference to mining, at first I was saying, where is it coming from? But mining in itself, yes, and we need to correct it. In fact, to add on to Roger, me, I would even question, I know very well that Muflira mine was never sold. Muflira mine tabashtishe, because Muflira mine was from $30 million. But the people who came and bought the mine never paid not even a single dollar.
Yeah.
Because when they came in, they just closed off security. Then there's a copper concentrate which was on the level 500 level. They collected it, processed it, sold that same concentrate, and then paid the government $30 million. At the time they were paying, they had made $60 million. This is a statement of fact, and I'm sure
those things are in the public domain by Gregory. Yes. I mean, Roger, you remember here we call him Uncle Bob. Vaschinga.
Yeah.
We asked him and he said, Uncle Bob, with all due respect, you can't sell a mine by Gregory for $2 million. Was it $2 million? Something like that. Even just that the equipment which is used there is worth.
Exactly.
Yeah, is worth more than that. I don't know if anybody else has something else to say.
That is, to me, is the lifestyle audit for our country we need to have. I challenged our Chaba the other day, Chairman Kasuluba and his friend. How is it that Lusaka, which has no mine, each one of them has a shopping mall to themselves? How? That life we see in Lusaka, why is it so different from Isoka? Someone tell me. Someone needs to help us.
Yeah, like
they've taken money away from the mines. We didn't have any business to go and do in Lusaka. I knew Lusaka when I had completed grade 12 at Namukufa. There was absolutely no need to go to Lusaka for. Today, Lusaka has taken all the money away from everywhere. Valipira kuna konde, what is this? The border fees.
Duty.
The other one in southern province, Valipira. That money straight has to go to Lusaka. so that Mr. Mashonga can build another more.
Another more. Where
this is so to be telling us, to me, to be telling a small fish, oh, account for this, account for this. Yeah, Mr. Mashonga, I guess, was right when he says let's account everyone with small, let's account for small money. But the bigger question, we still need to answer the bigger question as a country. The wealth of the nation comes from the mines, and the mines has not. So, Bamanza, what has happened to Erwin Fiamma Crams?
Yeah.
Wafunya kuisa Rolex. Kuno ine kutana hashta motoka ya new Benz. Na ana pa kampani ya parking. No one will ask me a question. Nobody. But because we are always fighting for these crumbs, ama riches ya chalo aye ne tualia sha kumaini mwebantu bakwalesa tualia sha ama riches ya chalo, and what we are fighting for, a little bit of crumb here. You were why you are not now. You were motoka washtale. Taba tu pusha kuno kama Mashonga. Tabe pusha kuno where you have got your car. Nobody asking you.
Yeah.
Usapewa parking next to your boss wobe ngabali kwataka motoka kasasa eona parking. He is not going to ask you zero. But a lifestyle audit, they want it. I guess it's fair. I guess it's fair. But to me, it tells you the deep down the problem we have as a nation. A rich country like Zambia. I like Gregory's. He was using a nice diplomatic way that compromised. The was political compromise. Yeah, that compromise was the confusion which was brought in the country so that the mafias can keep stealing. That's why we have
on the compromise, Roger, take me because I think we need to see how the compromise affected the same lifestyle audit. Vankama, I know you are aware. There is a very senior executive of ZCCM who was on the copper belt for some time, and he went on to establish his property. I can't question his income because I'm a senior staff for ZCCM. We know they were well looked after. But are you aware that part of the structure that he built, they literally had to import bricks? Ngamwalikulire ku copper belt. Chambishi was producing the bricks that mining entity needed. There are kilns in Kalulushi, sorry, not Chambishi, where they were making Amapan bricks. But this gentleman I'm referring to imported Ama bricks, which they use Muma smelter kilns to put up his house.
But Manza, now let's
so
go
when you are talking, so lifestyle audit.
Sorry, Manza. Sorry, I'll cut you short. Let's go to the solutions now. What do we do? How do we solve this solution, this problem? I think we know, all of us, we know what the problem is there. How
do we solve this? Large Pens, can you hear us? Are you able to say something? No. Because this is where it becomes, it would have been good to hear him say something on the solutions.
But come about for something to say within the components of the law, there is a term which being commonly used as enforcing.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether we should go that way of enforcing, or there are some eminent persons who are really advocating that the laws of Zambia need to be revisited in order to suit us, because most of them are, if anything, archaic, and probably we don't even understand how to apply them and implement them. So I don't know whether the process has to be from looking at the laws. before we even go to enforcing, looking at the laws to interpret them to suit our understanding and our culture and attitude.
In Parliament, I feel if what HH is doing works, the CDF, that will be the beginning of the proper lifestyle audit. Meaning the money is now moving from Lusaka to Isoka. So what matters to what Gregory you are saying when we talk about the laws? Do it the way they do in Botswana. Again, their leadership in Botswana. Botswana has these real headmen, real laws, which are established by the village. You sit here. Where did you get your car? This one. And people voice out in Botswana, the village. And there is no repercussions. So this money going in terms of CDF to the provinces, let the people start to have a real voice. That will be the beginning. Let the people in Zambia begin to have the real voice. I can relate about decentralization. Pangana sense. Because you can say whatever you want. Mashongwa will still build is what is more, whatever you can. But now that money is moving away, is going to Mansa. Money is moving, is going to Lundazi. What we need is to make sure that these CDF funds and committees are well strengthened. There will be no money to steal in Lusaka.
No.
There will be no money to steal in the first place. You know, I think I to tell man to not I to tell my name Shikara Lusaka. I batema mashonga. Na batema tawishi menokushwechile chitika pao. Money Mashonga was using to build a mall. It's not going to be there.
No, it's not. Me ain't going for it. Money is not
going to be there in the first place.
Yeah.
That money won't be there. So what we need to follow is number kushare shikapanga in the problem. Abantu should have a real voice. Turekule skulu hapa ili skulu ni 200,000 wanza tukalekonka shenda shani insamishi. It calls the lifestyle audit now calls on us members of the public to be involved in our villages to know Lulukasu. I like what is happening in Zambia already. Two things. Zesco, Nathan. Zesco at one point announced, there is a quotation for Toyota big vehicles. Boom, 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 boom. I get more social media. 2 days later, a contract cancelled. That's what we need in the country.
Yeah.
Zesco is buying poles from Katishi, which country we call electrical poles. Social media is there. That is a lifestyle audit we need. We wanted a government
listening to what the people are saying.
Yes.
That is part of the process. That is part of the process. We have about 16 minutes before we end this show. I was announcing at the beginning, you can see there, it says Young Men's Mentorship Sponsorship Program. There's going to be a mentorship seminar in Lusaka on 27th April. We need to sponsor, even 10 is good. I don't know how many have contributed, my US friends. That's the number there. It's both the Cash App and Zelle. Send it to Nelly. Francis, I hope you've sent something. Cletus, Bella, Muleumfa, Uncle Derek, just $20. That's all we need. That's all we need. Auntie Chloe, I know Vanachan has already sent. We just need about 10, 15, 20 people and it will be done. That's all we need. We need to sponsor those young guys so that they need help. That's the least we can do. Okay, Nyambe, do something there. Okay, 15 minutes to go here. I think what we'll do, Vachipenzi, I know you can hear us. We'll try to work this out. We'll try to work this out. We still need to have you back here. And,
we need to have Vachipenzi here.
We need to have Vachipenzi.
You need to update your phone. Today you go 4G, not your 2G. That's why it's not working.
Kasulova, please get with Mr. Chipenzi after the show and then let's make this
You'll be audited for buying an expensive phone.
Yeah.
We can do this even next weekend, Chipenzi, if you are still available next weekend, 1600 hours. I'm using a computer, sir. We love you, Mr. Chipenzi. But Kasulova is going to get with you, Bakalamba. This needs to work next Saturday, 1600 hours. We shall do this. We need to talk about this. In the 14 minutes remaining, I hope, my friends, those of you outside the US, Canada, Musaba, Apostle, what's his name? Chasaya, Apostle Chasaya. The MTN number pokaliapa $20. Please, let's contribute. Uncle Gregory Bonse, Otandi. That's the MTN number. In the note, put ZBTR so that they know that your contribution came through the talk show. Roger, very quickly, I want us to talk about these by-elections which happened. To say so,
well, the last election under the theme lifestyle audit. So the Zambian people took a very aggressive audit. 12 August, and brought in a new government.
Yeah.
And this is what we are talking about. When we get involved as a people, this is now what we have in our country. This goes to everything. It is not just the audit, Shanyuko. This affects everything. So we had the election. We have a new government. This week, we had 3 by-elections. In Monze, another one, I think, in Southern Province, and another one in Luwingu. And both of them, UPND won, all of them.
Okay.
But Mashongwa doesn't know that there was an election because there was no violence.
We didn't make headlines.
Within 8 months, we are having a normal country. Within 8 months. Meaning, even in lifestyle audit, people start behaving. You delivered 12th August. Look what you have done. Look what you have done. No violence in the election. This is our Zambia, our normal Zambia. We knew. So together we can change now the story, Nathan. From what we are seeing, the change we are seeing in the elections, in the mood of the country, the peaceful nature. It is time, Bachipenzi, we change our focus.
Yes.
To claim what belongs to Zambia. That is in the mineral wealth. We need we need to claim that.
Yeah.
That is the way I saw these elections which happened the other day. The Zambian people delivered, and we are celebrating Abantu Natramana. I went today, Nathan. I went today on Facebook how people were being cut for a mayor election. People were being cut, and the Zambian people said enough. Zambia is a rich country, Vane. Just like Congo, we are a rich country. The way you delivered on the 12th August, let's find another mission to now deliver the economic liberty. We don't deserve to live in a poor country. No,
we don't.
No.
Mwanza, did you follow these elections? I don't know what your thoughts are.
You can't follow them. You can't. It's
Yes,
not possible.
yes, I
there was
did.
no blood. There was no panga.
Yes, I did. I did with a lot of interest. But one thing that was a bit striking for me were some complaints which were thrown against the UPND for having sent its whole machination to the by-election in the northern province, I think. So one prominent leader in the opposition was complaining, says, how can the whole entire...
How can the what?
The whole entire president go to a by-election to campaign? So then now I was there listening. Listening that, but the PF, the entire PF machinery, Vice President Davis Mwila, Chishimba Kampwili, Nani, all of them were at that by-election. If anything, the president did not indicate in his schedule that he had gone to campaign. He went on duty.
Yes.
Now, you can't take that away from the president because he has the prerogative to decide where he will work from. So he did not go to campaign. The campaign was being done by the foot soldiers. No? So I found it a bit absurd that instead of what, I mean, they didn't have any people, probably like Roger Valelanda. I think it would have been so attractive to the Greens had there been a spillage of blood, because they would have had something to talk about. But because it was so free, I mean, there was no violence, they had to find something to talk about. But what is so striking again, they have not commented on the elections in Mongo. If anything, PF was absent in Mongo.
Oh, wow.
So which in itself also is a bit... Then my elections northern province.
We can even update that one in Mungu. Kangombe, young Kangombe, PF. He was he posted some pictures. People were free. Again, it's not possible to know Gregory because there was no violence. He was in Mungu.
Yeah.
And the people let him do whatever he wanted.
The by-elections were peaceful, coated with tolerance, with few reports of malpractices. This is a new era in our electoral democracy. PF performance was very poor. That's what Chipenzi is posting in the private chat there. So our viewers, even if you cannot hear his voice or see his face, is participating. To all you Lozi and Luvale people, he says, you stop the witchcraft, you killed the show. Yeah. But what depends? I think the problem is we put you together with Wakashambatwa. That's why it didn't work.
Who is claiming the Luvales killed the show?
Well, it depends. That's what he's saying, that the Luvales and the Lozis killed the show.
You see, and that's why your phone is not even working now. Now you see where the problem is coming. Now we know why. You're playing with your big men.
Oh my goodness. Before we end here, Kasuluba, I want to get your final comments about whatever you want to say. Please, hey, USA, let's help our young men's mentorship program. We're only asking for a $20 contribution. That will get a youth into that. It's just $20. Just the youth will get in there. They'll get materials. They'll sit through the seminar the whole day. They'll get a T-shirt and things like that. So that 817 number works for both Zelle and Cash App. Those of you outside the US, you can use that MTN number, the Zambian MTN number there, straight to Lusaka. Just put ZBTR there so that your contribution, they know that you're contributing through this fundraiser campaign. Mr. Kasuluwa, you have the final word before we conclude. But Chipenzi, when we finish, please don't go. We'll try to make this work behind the scenes so that we can have you back next week to talk about other things. By the way, Roger, you know, Mr. Chipenzi is executive director of Gears. They call it Gears. You know that?
Yeah, he has changed so many names, so it is tough to follow.
Oh, I can see there's some chimbuya going on here.
But he's a fighter, we know that for sure.
Yeah, Governance, Elections, Advocacy, Research Services is the executive director of that organization. We would like you to come and talk about the work of this organization and also address some of the issues which we have raised on today's segment, from lifestyle audit to issues of governance and elections and stuff like that. Mr. Mashonga, your final words.
Thank you so much, Uncle Nathan. Great discussion we've had. Great points from everyone, Uncle Gregory and Uncle Roger. I just want to take us back a bit on the same lifestyle audit. I feel if it's going to work, first of all, it has to be clear, and officials need to realize that a public holding public office means that your lifestyle is in the public, like was said in the video clip. So meaning that if your lifestyle or your life is in the public, first of all, you have to declare your net worth, like what's being done now. So your net worth needs to be known. My net worth is 3 million kwacha, or this much and that much. From there now, how does this person live their life? Their life? From just how much fuel do they burn, how much gas do they burn in a month, or something like that. All those things are very important, because once that is known, it will also mean that those same officials will now easily carry out the audit role of checking their minds, for example. Because now, if as a government official I have nothing to hide, everything is known, I now, meaning that I'll be representing the interests of the general public, then I'm going to go to the mines and see, okay, how are these deals being done? Okay, are the profits being declared, the actual profits? So it starts from the government officials. Okay, everything level playing field. Now we move. They are the ones, because they are the ones who carry out the agenda on behalf of the citizens. If it's carrying out all these audits, like Uncle Roger is very much interested, it's not me, the citizen, that's going to do that. It's the officials now. So then now it's going to curb and kill collusion. You see how it's moving? Yeah.
Curb and kill collusion.
Yes, and other things. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you, Auntie Brenda, for the $20 contribution towards the Young Men's Mentorship Program. Guys, we can do this. Let's see you put in a little bit more. We have 3 minutes here. Just send me a screenshot that you have made your contribution, and then we shall have a big shout out for you. So that's what Mr. Mashonga is saying, Uncle Gregory, as we wind up here.
Lifestyle audit is a must, and I think I mean, it has already been said. If you are a public servant, you are in the public eye. So there's nothing private about you, and I think, I don't know what English people would want to use to turn public into private. It's not an issue, so people should just and I think as Zambians now, our attitudes need to change. There's an aspect of humility that has to come in. I like the way Musa Mwenya comes out. He's a very humble man who has served at the highest of echelons of administration, but he comes out very humble. And he clearly puts it. He says, when I'm working in the government, but I bought when I was working from the private sector. Yes. So I don't know what's the problem. So when we even look at, sorry to bring in this, but I look at some of the former minister for Lusaka province. I mean, he's talking of a house worth $3 million US. Which government official? $3 million US in under. Guys, let's because even the president, I mean, when Wakaunda was retired, how much did he have in his bank account?
And yet he was accused of having stolen.
Yes, and that man was at that position for 27 years.
Mm-hmm.
So let's not play with I mean, people of Zambia and think, yeah, public resources are public resources. So why
That's true.
Kumulonga, kumulonga, ngawulefo kupange chipawo kabiye private. Because people can't question Hakainde Hichilema. He made his money in the private sector.
That's true.
See, so if you want to audit him, go and audit his accounts, and I don't think he will hide. But now you find that between now and the time when he leaves, let's start counting. Already now he's refusing to be paid. So now to show that he's not gaining anything in terms of resources.
Mm-hmm.
So that in itself is a lifestyle audit.
That's
this is
true.
A man who says, Ninkwata, chinshi. That's a lifestyle audit. But we are trying to change it.
I think on that one we cannot just take that one. I don't know when you on the silver whatever and agree, or the president is not being paid. We had an experience here in the United States. Where is it Trump who used to say, "Oh, my money I've donated here, I've given to here," but he was a master of corruption. You know. So while we believe HH is, we are going to be watching between now and then. The best our leader can do, lifestyle audit. If you any deal your company signs. Either we know about it as a country, and we find out if your position as president has caused you to succeed in that deal, or has he stopped? Everything has stopped because now when you're president, a lot of people want to do favors.
Yeah, it's true.
So he can be getting zero, meanwhile he's getting billions in contracts. So, Mr. President, you are on the right track, but go further. Go further.
We are monitoring.
Contracts which are being signed for your companies, and you know about them, they may influence the way you're going to be deciding on national issues. The Zambian people need to know.
Yes. Okay, everybody, that was our show today. Those of you who are going to listen to this recorded show, the Young Men's Mentorship Program will be on April 27th. We shall try to remit these funds to the sponsors of that program on Monday or Tuesday. So if you listen to this recorded show, the number is there. You can still give your $20. Those of you outside the United States, send it directly to Zambia on that MTN money number put up there. Thank you, everybody. Uncle Gregor, it was good to see you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Chipenzi and Wakashambata, we shall still try to work out something. Kasuluba, reach out to them and try to work out this.
We'll try to get 5G phones for them.
We'll try to... So that if they are asked where they got the phones, we'll say we sent them. Okay?
Yeah.
We sent the phones.
Sent to them.
I know, right? Happy Easter, everybody. Enjoy your weekend.
Happy Easter, everyone.
Bye.
Happy Easter.
Zambia Blog Talk Radio.